My name is Fiona Watt. I'm Director of the Centre for Stem Cells and Regenerative Medicine at King's College London. Welcome to my exp. I think most people would agree that the classic definition of excellence in science is making discoveries which will be published in the classic journals such as Science or Nature. This would lead to success in obtaining competitive funding for your research in the form of grants. Career progression to the form in the form of a prestigious professorship, and then acquiring along the way a number of honours, election to the Royal Society or the National Academy of Sciences, and picking up along the way preferably some medals, prizes. A Nobel Prize would be the sort of pinnacle of prize winning, but there are others. And then achieving recognition from your peers. You might be asked to chair an advisory group to advise the government on a particular topic. You might well be on the advisory panel of a research centre or an institute in another part of the world. So I think those would be the classic hallmarks of excellence, at least from my perspective. To publish in a journal like Science or Nature means that you have had to outcompete a very large number of people to gain a space in that journal. When I was a younger scientist, not getting my papers into those journals used to literally make me weep, would cause me a loss of sleep. But ultimately, for me, the important thing has always been that an experiment isn't really finished unless it's published. And so sometimes I would, especially as my lab expanded, I would keep my tears and frustration to myself. And I would say to the younger member of my lab, it doesn't matter, your career is not destroyed because you haven't published in that journal. We need to publish it. We need to be proud that this is an excellent piece of work, because although it's not been judged excellent by this criterion of where it's published, we know that it's right and we know that it can push the field forward. I would say it's important to exhibit some humility in the way you describe your science. I think it's very dangerous if you measure your own excellence by which journals you publish in, because you can start to see how if you're judging your own excellence by those external criteria, you might be tempted to cut some corners. You might say, well, this discovery would appeal to this particular competitive journal, so maybe I could just exert some pressure on my colleagues to get those results because they're a nice fit with my hypothesis. So for me, an excellent scientist is somebody who really cares about the results. I think should share the results and should not put pressure on other people, to particularly people they have influence on, to shape the results. I often say to people, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being wrong. If you were wrong for honest reasons, and if you can correct that mistake or other people can build on it, I think that means being an excellent scientist. And I would also say an excellent scientist takes care and shows respect for their colleagues, particularly the junior colleagues in their care. Careers for scientists are no longer linear. It's no longer from PhD to professor. There are so many job opportunities out there, and we have many opportunities to experience different sectors. For example, you might be able to spend some time as a government advisor. You might be able to spend some time in a pharmaceutical company and use that as a springboard, possibly back into academia, but maybe into other sectors. Regulation of healthcare products is another area that is hugely important. And sometimes we just need to step back and say, well, look, it's not a race, or if it's a race, it's not a linear race, and define excellence on your own terms. Rather than fearing failure and fearing being judged, trying to take back your own life and measuring excellence on your own terms.